everyone, to the 7th episode of One and a Half Piece, a podcast about a random person that has never watched even a single episode of the popular anime One Piece. That random person and half piece would be me, Siv. Hello. And I'm being accompanied by my wonderful co-host and best friend, Viv.
Hello, I'm Viv, and I resemble the other full One Piece, thus making us one and a half piece together. And I have dedicated my life to rewatching the adventures of the Straw Hat Pirates not only once, but now a second time, making me a self-proclaimed expert in One Piece. I'm really excited to be here and share my expert insights with our listeners.
You read it well.
I read it really well. Right?
We're gonna be honest. No, okay. It was all right. No, it was perfect.
I don't know about that.
We're gonna admit we have every moderation and every intro and outro. We have those written down in case you have wondered why we always replicate them so ideally. So, in this podcast episode, we're covering episode 16 to 20, and yeah, heads up, we did record this episode a week ago.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I did not check the settings correctly. And unfortunately, it took that for me to learn a lesson. So now we're recording on OBS. And I also double, triple, quadruple checked that Viv is being recorded.
Yeah, and now I'm recording on OBS too. So we gotta be safe with that one.
Yeah, definitely. So if we laugh super fake about jokes that we've already heard a week ago, please bear with us.
We made the joke 1 week ago.
But I'm so forgetful. Honestly, you might have as well tell me that again, and I'll sincerely laugh about that.
But I remember we were talking a lot about The Office parallels and comparisons.
So yeah, guys, get ready for some juicy The Office comparisons. Let's go. Episode 16.
16?
We get a 16. We get a juicy flashback of Klahadore and Luffy fight. So real quick, Klahadore tells Django that he is going to take care of Luffy. Django is supposed to take care of Kaya, and that Django should make Kaya write her will, and then they'll kill her. To what I wrote down, what if she just doesn't write the will? I guess technically she could not write it because they'll kill her anyway. But Viv pointed out last week that Django's probably going to kill the friends as well.
Did I?
But then again, I think you pointed out that he could threaten to kill the village.
Yeah.
And I mean, what tells us that they won't do that anyway because they planned on killing the village. There's no point of that. So Usopp yells for the Usopp pirates to protect her. Zoro and Usopp are going to protect Kaya as well. And we see
the
last
salad
flashback.
Boys.
The salad. Oh, yeah, right. The salad kids. I was like, what are you talking about?
Salad boys.
The salad kiddies.
The salad kiddies.
The flashback ends with seeing everyone cheer to Captain Kuro and him saying that he doesn't want to be Captain Kuro anymore.
Yes.
We finally end this flashback. Luffy breaks the claws off of Klahadore's hand with the boulder that he threw in between them and says, well, Klahadore isn't fit for the seas anyway if his own name, can scare him away. And he proceeds to say that meaning Luffy's ambitions, are way bigger anyway. And then we see the salad kids run away from Django. They're confident that Kaya is safe with them because no one can find them in the woods.
No one.
It's their terrain, which is a little bit concerning. Are they living in the woods? Where are their parents?
They're living in the woods.
They're also living in the woods.
They're outlaws.
Do we know how they got their names? I just now thought of that.
By birth?
No.
I name you Carrot.
It feels like...
No, was it Carrot? It was Pepper, Carrot, and
Onion.
Was it Carrot?
I think it is Carrot, yeah.
Don't remember.
Carrot, Pepper, Onion. Those names sound like names that kids would give each other. There's no way.
That's true.
There were adults that were like...
I mean, I call you Bean, but...
Yeah, but not that's not written down in my passport.
It is not? What? I'm living a lie. So yeah, actually, did we check the Japanese names from the Salad Kids?
No, we didn't. Not that I remember.
Ninjin, Piman, and tamanegi.
Ah, Pima. No, I remember that because I thought that's funny. And then I thought that I'm 12 years old that I
Yeah.
laughed about that.
And piman, ninjin is carrot, you're right. Piman is pepper, probably. And tamanegi is onion, for everyone who didn't know up until this point.
Knowledge provided by yours truly.
Knowledge provided by yours truly, Viv.
While the kids are running away, we suddenly see the trees get sawn down, and it's Django's rings, the chakrams.
Yes.
And he looks through the sawn down trees and says that they can't hide from him. He's going to shave the whole forest down.
Yes.
Which is, I don't know if that's like a mistranslation, but it sounds very funny. And one of the silent kids gets tickled at the nose and almost sneezes, but the other kids hold his nose. And last week we had a lengthy discussion because Viv gaslighted me.
Yeah, I
on the
gaslighted
podcast.
you so
She
much.
made me believe that in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I had this idea of that Pippin or Merry was tickled as they were hiding from the Nazgul in the first movie, but it wasn't. So I am dumb, and we're not gonna talk about this, and people doesn't know that I'm dumb.
And you also said that there was a spider coming down, which was also
it was
true.
A spider, but this was true. But
was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
There was a spider, but they are on the brink of freaking out, the hobbits. But they didn't. And I think Sam or Frodo or any one of them threw a backpack like a few meters further. And then Nazgul was like getting up again and checking
following the
where
sound,
where the sound is coming from. So yeah, it wasn't actually a tickle in the nose.
I don't know. Yeah,
but
I guess.
Yeah, I had the same feeling as this situation in One Piece, but it wasn't right.
So Zoro and Usopp run, and Usopp keeps yelling while Usopp was hanging on his shoulder, and Usopp keeps yelling, "East, east, like go east." And Zoro complains that he does not know where east is, and Usopp should just tell him like left or right. And it turns out that they were running the wrong way. Kaya is very weakened and back in the forest and wants the kids to continue without her. And the kids want to get a doctor for her because they can hear like Django is close by, and they discuss the whole situation. The kids say, well, technically they could leave and they would still be safe, but Usopp also like showed them to stand your ground, and this is why they're determined to protect Kaya and put their weapons. They all put their weapons in the middle, which is a pan, a stick, and a bat.
Yes, and I wondered why Kaya could run that fast.
If she's sick,
yeah, she's so sick, but she can run that fast. It's, I don't know, weird somehow.
Not only that fast, but like that long.
Yeah.
There's no way.
But then afterwards, she had fever, so everything was going downhill from that point. She was running, so
everything's going downhill after she was running. After me, every time after gym.
Yeah, every time I'm doing sports, everything's going downhill after that.
So back to Luffy and Klahadore. The pirates are in awe about the whole fight and what happened, that Luffy broke those claws. And Luffy says that only 5 claws are left. The pirates start rooting for Klahadore again. And one says Captain Kuro, and another pirate notices that this name is taboo now. And they try to remember his other name, and they can't. So they say Kla-san. And Kuro gets super upset with them and wants them to shut up and says he's going to kill them all later. The pirates become really desperate and say, oh, they can still attack the village. But Kuro interrupts them and says their bodies would be enough to blame them. He doesn't need them to be alive. He says he always wanted to kill them and no one is to know of him being alive. So they are the last, I guess, witnesses.
Oh,
and survivors, yeah. Luffy says that he points out that he thinks that they are very uncool pirates.
Yeah.
It's a very childish thing to say.
No, it's a good thing.
No, you're uncool.
You're uncool.
Crew members are loyal pawns of the captain, Kuro explains to him. And he thinks that they have to obey and die for his plan if this is part of his plan. Luffy is very unfazed, and we get a very, very long freeze frame.
Yeah.
I wrote down, why was that freeze frame so long?
Yeah, it was very weird.
And Luffy says that no matter how many pirates follow Klahadore, he'll never be better than Usopp. And Kuro can't believe that he's being compared to a child. He then does the pussy dance, and I will never
Yeah,
get
go
tired
on.
of.
Yeah.
I will never get tired of seeing the face palm every time I say pussy dance.
Yeah. The pussy dance.
The
Who
pussy
doesn't know the
dance.
pussy dance? I'm doing the
And
pussy dance every time I'm in the club. You don't?
I'm not that often in the club.
I'm not that often in the club either. So
On your
doesn't
30th,
matter. You're always pussy dancing.
Clahadur does the pussy dance, and Luffy says that Clahadur is lacking character, and he does his long arm punch and slams Clahadur into the wall. Kuro is now ready to show Luffy a real pirate, so I guess Luffy kind of ignited that fire in him, and he got like really pissed. The pirates freak out about his stance, and apparently that stance where he stands his arms hanging in front of him, and then he sways left and right.
Mhm.
And Sway from Michael Bublé starts playing. When Marimba starts to play, dance with me, make me sway. That's what he does the pussy dance to.
Yeah. What is the English term for that? It's pussy dancing.
It is pussyfoot dance.
Foot dance.
Yeah, it's a pussyfoot dance.
Because in German, I was like watching the show with German subtitles, and it's called Todesbuckel there.
Yeah, that's weird that they. I wonder which translation is closer to the original.
Probably Todesbuckel.
You think so?
Because Todesbuckel is like what a cat does. A buckel.
So it's a death hunch. Just quick
Yeah,
translation.
But the Japanese term is shakushi attack, and I think last week I googled this, and I think is the literal translation to cat claws, something like that.
Okay, so they just translated even more differently.
Even more, yeah.
Okay.
But wait a minute, I'm gonna check it once again. Shakushi, literally meaning scoop death, Kuro's ultimate technique.
Ah, yeah, right. Because I joked about it being an ice cream.
Yes. But scoop death doesn't mean anything, does it?
Well, scoop is just like
It's
this motion, like this scooping motion, isn't it?
But he doesn't do the scooping motion. He just tingles from left to right. Or is this the scooping
Maybe he's like
thing?
scooping them from behind, you know?
Ah.
That's what she said.
Maybe he's scooping them from behind.
That sounds so weirdly sexual. Let's not say that. So we learn what the stance means. It's the out of the back attack.
Yeah.
And it's about to happen. That's like when he starts swaying. And I always think of Michael Bublé.
Yeah.
Apparently, a big attack is about to happen because all the pirates fear for their life too, even though they're very far away from him. Luffy can't understand the pirates that are pleading with Clahadur to leave them alive. And we get a dramatic close-up of Clahadur, and suddenly he disappears, and only purple smoke is seen going down the way towards the pirates. Nami is meanwhile looting the ship and wants to see how the fight is going, and she looks over the edge of the ship, and she doesn't understand why everyone is just standing around. Pirates one by one get scratched and killed left and right by an invisible entity, I guess. I mean, we know it's Clahadur, but it seems like it's something invisible.
I wrote down fog.
Oh yeah, right, because we see like those purple
fog.
Fog, yeah. So the pirates one by one get scratched and killed left and right, and because of the pussyfoot maneuver, you can't tell where he's about to be because you can't hear him. Nami is dumbfounded because she just can't comprehend the whole situation, and so is Luffy. He also gets scratched in the chest, and I initially thought that that's where the X came from, because I know that later I've seen pictures, obviously, like throughout the time of him later, and he has this big X on his chest, but that's not where the X comes from. Luffy has a short flashback of Shanks, and I don't know why. I didn't really connect the dots there. Why did we have that flashback?
I think last week I explained it with the fact that probably Shanks deals with his crewmates in a nicer way, and Ruffy is reminded to treat your crewmates and your nakamas better than Kuro, treats his
Mm.
crewmates, probably, and he doesn't want to be like Kuro as a captain, probably. I don't know, he wants to be like Shanks as a
Mm.
captain. So probably that one, but I really don't know why they put the flashback of Shanks there.
That makes sense. Because I wrote down, and I'm not sure whether I wrote that down because Shanks yells that or if Luffy yells that. I wrote down a short flashback of Shanks and yells, "What does he take his friends for?" But I'm not sure who yells that.
I'm not remembering correctly right now.
Luffy then grabs Klahadore out of nowhere while he's invisible and throws him over his head. Kuro says that thanks to Luffy, the pirates are alive and in agony instead of being just like being dead, and they're suffering it right now, trying to really guilt trip him there. And Klahadore then says, Luffy looks like he has something to say, which he has. And Luffy says, he will never be a man like Klahadore, and to which Klahadore responds, he can't be a man like him.
Yeah.
And then he points his claws at his face and says he wants to carve Luffy up and let him writhe in agony. But before Luffy can do anything, he does the out of the back attack again. And we are back in the forest again, where Django is searching for the children, and they then wave a white flag and say they surrender and they're going to give him Kaya. Django says that he's not falling for it, and then he literally falls for it. He falls over a rope, and Pepper literally peppers him. And the child with the hat, which I think is Onion, punches him in the nuts with a pan, to which I wrote down, "Rip baby Django's." Django starts sneezing uncontrollably because of the pepper.
Yeah, and his face grows blue or something.
Yeah, it turns like to a different color. And then the children push a tree and it falls onto the foot of him. And then they attack him from the air. But two miss, which I don't know how they miss, and one gets grabbed in midair. And Django's not happy that they made a mockery out of him. He throws Onion against the wall and later the other two, and starts yelling out for Kaya. She appears and the children tell her to run away, like save yourself. But further away, we see that Usopp and Zoro hear them screaming. Kaya says she's going to write the will, and in a weird fashion, I don't know why, she steals the ring, the chakram. We last week already discussed how Django did not notice that. How did she steal that unnoticed by him? And she threatens to kill herself with the chakram.
Yeah, and I find that so crazy. In a kids show, she threatens to kill herself. This is crazy, and this was deleted in the 4Kids version. I think 4Kids.
Really?
Yes, or not? No, they changed the order and what she says in order to not get the suicide out of this situation. They changed it somehow. I didn't watch the 4Kids version, and I think 4Kids is this
it's like the PG-6 version in a way.
Is it like American TV show?
Yeah, it's probably like the German Jetix.
Yeah.
Or like Rainbow. Rainbow's the one from Italy where Wings came from.
That whole situation was very weird though, because she snatched these chakrams from Django. What? How?
Yeah, I don't know how. She must have insane sneak abilities.
Yeah, she was like standing right before him, right in front of him, and then she went up to him.
She just took him while he was looking at her.
Yeah, like, dude, what is wrong with you? Reaction time, like 10 minutes.
Django panics after she threatens to kill herself and agrees to let the kids go. And he goes to Kaya and just gets his chakrams back and gives her a feather instead. The kids are still there, which pissed me off so much. Why aren't they not running away? Why aren't they not gone somewhere safe? Why is Kaya not waiting for them to leave before she signs this?
Yeah, I don't know.
You could still grab them.
Wasn't this her whole point? To get the kids free, and then she will sign the last will? But then she did it anyways, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all.
What the hell?
Django says that her agreeing to sign it saves him from hypnotizing her. And he then gets ready to kill her. We hear Usopp yell at Zoro to be faster. He starts punching the cut open chest of Zoro. Zoro runs towards them and Django says, "Seems like I have to finish this quick." I wrote down proceeds to talk and does not finish it quick.
Yeah. Anime.
The episode ends with the beach where we see Lucy. At the
Lucy.
beach where we see Luffy get sliced in
Gender
the
band
chest.
Luffy.
Lucy and Sarah.
Yeah. Something else to add. Fun
Mhm.
fact, I did tell this last week too. This is the first episode the Panda Man appears.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot that.
Yeah. Panda Man is, for everyone who doesn't know, is some kind of Easter egg that Aishiro Oda put in the manga or in the anime too. This is a man, a really buff man. He's really muscular and he has a panda head. So not a normal human head, he has a panda head. And this is Panda Man, and you really don't know anything about this man. He appears from time to time in the background or in the foreground, but he's a myth. He's a legend. He's Panda Man.
I think last time you said that he gets relevance like later, or does he appear
Did
again
I?
later?
He appears later in some
okay.
chapters or in some anime episodes too, but he hasn't a specific role or
Okay.
like a leading role, or he just appears from time to time.
Like my anxiety.
Like my depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on to episode 17.
Yes.
Claddor appears in front of Luffy and then behind him, and Luffy asks if he's tired because the attack seems to have a lot of unnecessary steps. So we get some massive disrespect from Luffy.
Mm-hmm.
Claddor says that he shouldn't get cocky. He does the attack again. Luffy tries to catch Claddor with his long arms, and the pirates that are still watching the whole fight are astonished and say, realize that if Luffy defeats Kuro, that means that they'll stay alive. In the forest, the children headbutt Django in the butt, like they literally headbutt him, and Zoro cuts a branch, which first seems really weird because the branch is super far away from Django. But then we see Usopp is aiming at Django. Back at the beach, we have a lot of scenery skips. Back at the beach, Luffy headbutts Claddor, and the pirates cheer him on.
Yeah.
Luffy stretches his head back all the way to the pirates and tells them that they have no right to cheer him on. And back in the forest, Usopp aims at Django and fires. It's the special attack exploding star. What a name. It hits Django in the face. Back at the beach, we see the parallel happening of Luffy charging his Gum Gum bell, and he headbutts Claddor. We hear the sound of a bell, which must be the lack of Luffy's thoughts in his brain that are echoing.
But it's Gomu Gomu no Mi. It's one of the iconic moves Ruffy
But it's the first time we
does.
see it here, I believe, in the series. Claddor seems knocked out. We later learn that he is knocked out, but I initially thought that he's going to stand back up. He loses his glasses and they lay next to him while he lies unconscious next to them. Everyone is stunned, and the pirates say that even the Marines didn't manage to defeat him and who Luffy is. Luffy says he's Monkey D. Luffy and says that they should remember that name forever because he's going to be king of pirates. He then throws Claddor towards them and says they should leave and never come back, to which I wrote down, why would they take Claddor back? Like, isn't he just going to kill them?
Yes.
And you had a fair point the last time about the ending of that fight. I don't know if you remember.
What did I say?
You asked whether I'm not underwhelmed by the ending of this fight.
Yeah. Were you underwhelmed? I didn't write that down though.
Oh, okay. But you asked me that because we talked about how I thought we're going to have one more time where Claddor is going to stand back up. The whole way that he lost his glasses and was lying there was a setup for him to like stand up one last time. And it was over
like a Dark
so
Souls
quickly.
boss, right?
Yeah, right. You said like a Dark Souls boss with phase 2.
Yeah, true. It was really too easy. GG.
It seemed too easy.
Yeah.
Considering that he's like in a way more evil than Buggy in terms of he seems more serious.
And in terms of bounty, probably too, but let me just check that.
Do we talk about the bounty that Captain Kuro has? I don't think that we ever talked about that.
Kuro has a bounty of 16 million.
16 or 60?
16. And
Okay.
I think Boogie.
We should have a list of all the bounties that we encounter. That would be smart.
Probably, yes. You should do that.
Yeah, I should do that.
15 million.
Oh, okay. It's not that much less.
Yeah, if it's
But
million.
still less. Nami arrives at the scenery, or not like scenery, arrives at the scene. Nami arrives at the scene with Luffy, and Luffy is weak and leans on her, which is, in a way, a very sibling-like scene, which is really cute.
Really cute.
Nami asks why he was mad before, and Luffy says because the captain wanted to kill his crew and he was taught differently. Nami says that, well, that's kind of logical since Kuro is more the pirate standard than Luffy.
Yeah.
And the only thing that Luffy says is that he wants meat.
But this is just too nice. This shows the character of Ruffy so well, that he is a nice human being and his crewmates and nakamas are precious to him in some way, and he doesn't want them to be killed by him. So yeah. It's
that's honorable mention.
Honorable, yeah.
We see the children Kaya talking to Usopp, and they want him to clear up the misunderstanding. So they want him to confess to the village, or not confess, but like explain that he was not lying. And Usopp says that there's no point in that. He also has no point in staying because no pirates will attack again, which is a bold claim.
Yeah, true.
He's going to pretend like nothing happened and that all was like it is still a lie in big air quotes. The children say that they can do it, and if that's the best for the village, they'll never tell the secret. And Kaya also promises to keep that secret.
And it probably is the best way to come out of this situation, because you don't panic the other people in the village.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He doesn't bother them for no reason.
Yeah.
We get some shots of the village that is now calm and quiet. And speaking of, all the villagers are wondering where the liar is gone.
Yeah.
And they kind of miss him and wonder if they were too harsh with him.
That was really cute. And
it was really wholesome, yeah. Back at the beach, the crew is chilling, and Usopp says that he's finally made a decision. New intermission melody, I noticed. We have, I don't know what the Usopp intermission melody sounds like. Oh, you're right. It sounds like the GameCube.
Yeah, right. I think that was it.
Usopp meets with the children and tells them that he, as their captain, is very proud of them, and they have now overcome their biggest adventure since they formed 5 years ago when they were 4, which I find weird. Like, he just took 3 4-year-olds and told them to be part of his crew. Yeah. He's going
Why
out.
not, though? Why not? He's good friends with his kids.
Okay, yeah, I guess. How old is Usopp? Do we know how much older he is?
I think he's 17 at this point. Let me just check if I'm not.
So he's like 10 years older. Like 8, 7.
Age 17. Debut.
At the debut, he is 17.
I did say that, right? Wow, yeah. I'm crazy. The One Piece expert that I am.
He says he's going to go out into the sea to be a real pirate, and he was never sure to stay in the village anyway.
Yes.
He says the pirate flag is calling him, and the children ask if he's lying again. Doesn't he love the village? And what will happen to the Usopp pirates when he leaves? Usopp says the children are supposed to give them his regards to the villagers. I mean, he's going to leave without telling them, and we get one flashback of how the Usopp pirates came to be. And it's young Usopp who is approached by the children who call him a lying person, liar Usopp. And Usopp just decides that the children will become his pirates. We see how he invented so many adventures, like chasing a dog, which he calls a Cerberus, or a lizard, which he then calls a dragon. The children didn't want to hear about the olden days, which is ridiculous. It's been like 4 years
The
ago.
olden days.
The olden days. They're so sad, and say he's stupid, and then they cry. Usopp asks them, "What are your ambitions?" And
Yeah.
this is so
This
hilarious.
is so funny.
One says run a pub, which I find very,
Yeah.
very problematic. One says carpenter.
Nothing problematic about that. Just a pub.
And the last one wants to write a book. And
Yes.
Usopp says that they should never let the fire of ambitions go out. The pirates are now officially disbanded.
But they have humble dreams, right?
Yeah, like realistic ones. Yeah. Not become king of pirates.
What? This is like a cool and, like you said, an ambitious dream.
What,
Don't
run a
you-
pub?
No, being a pirate, king of pirates.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah, that's very ambitious.
But the others are boring as hell.
I'm writing a book. So we see Luffy in a pub eating, and Kaya comes to the pub. She says that the sickness. Yeah, now we deal with the biggest bullcrap.
Yeah.
Kaya says that the sickness was from the mental load of her parents dying, and she can't be cuddled forever, thus she is better now.
Yeah. That's like you tell a depressed person, just stop being depressed. And then
Just
the
go
person,
outside.
Yeah. Wow. Now my depression is cured. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I had never thought about being happy. Fuck you. No. Okay. No swearing in this podcast.
But I gotta say, I preferred the way Netflix solved it, that Klahadore was keeping her sick.
Yeah.
Because that makes more sense, that she became slowly sick and then stayed sick rather than being sick because she's sad, which is a valid point.
Yeah.
But just then suddenly not be sick anymore and thus not be sad.
And when I watched the One Piece live action, I was in my, I remembered back in the days, I was like remembering the exact same thing, that in the OG series or in the anime or manga, Kurahador made her sick. But this isn't right. He didn't.
That was the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
He just thought that was right.
Yeah.
She says that she has a present and wants them to accept it. Meanwhile, we see Usopp packing his stuff and saying farewell to the house, and he looks at Kaya's house through his window. And when he tries to leave his house, his backpack is too big to fit through the door. He then gets out by brute force and rolls down the hill. And at the beach, we see the ship for the first time.
Yay.
It's the gift that Kaya has for Luffy and his crew. It's a caravel. And Mary says how he designed it. It's called Going Merry.
Going Merry.
And
yes.
he attempts to tell more technicalities to Luffy, but Nami says she should explain it to her, not to him. Usopp rolls down the hill right towards them, and Zoro and Luffy stop him with their feet, which is a very badass move. They just kind of nod at each other and just stop him.
Yeah.
Usopp and Kaya say goodbye to each other, and Usopp says that he wants to leave before he changes his opinion. And next time he comes back, he's going to tell her more lie-like adventures than before. Zoro and Luffy are calling him to come on the ship, and Luffy asks, they are friends now, right? And Usopp says, I get to be captain, right? What was the logical conclusion from we are friends now, right? Luffy says, don't be dumb, I'm the captain. The children watch them sail away and say, since he's with Luffy and the others, they are not so worried about him anymore. And one child says,
but they should be.
They should be. One of the children says that they have an idea. Mary, God, my notes. I wrote down Mary and Mary are watching the ship. It's Mary and Kaya are watching the ship go away. And Kaya says that lying sucks. Mary asks whether it's about her not wanting to stop Usopp to leave, and then tells her the story about Usopp and how his father left, and shortly after that, his mother passed away. And young Usopp was running to the house yelling, pirates are coming, and it's probably his father. And his mother was deadly sick in bed. She told him that the father is not coming back, but she's still happy that she married him, which I find super weird.
Still happy, though.
Still happy. Usopp believes in a medicine that he can find it and heal her, but she dies. And Mary says that maybe because of his loneliness, he kept yelling that pirates are coming. Usopp probably bonded with Kaya since she also lost her parents in this village. And Mary also says that now she needs to grow stronger too, just like him. On the ship, we see them drink beer and cheer on to each other, and the children back in the village run into the village and yell that pirates are here and they're continuing the tradition of Usopp. And the last shot, we see that Kaya wants to become a doctor, and Mary says that that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. The way I watched the anime, I'm not mad that they didn't kiss, but in a Netflix adaptation, they also had way more chemistry.
Yeah.
That was definitely lacking here.
Do you think so?
No, I mean, no, it wasn't lacking, but in terms of the kiss would have been weird in the anime because there's no chemistry. Like they built this story differently, but in the Netflix adaptation, it was very fitting that they kiss in the end.
Yeah. I think
Although,
so too.
real quick, Usopp kisses Kaya, and she was like super sick for years. Is he not concerned for his health?
She's just sick. Don't you kiss your sick partner?
No.
Don't you kiss your sick Hase? Yes.
No.
He's sick.
As soon as I know that he's sick, I'm not kissing him.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. You heartless.
He doesn't kiss me either because we don't want to get sick.
I'm kissing my boyfriend in order to get him better again. Doesn't matter at this point. But yeah, what did you say about the Mary ship, the Going Mary?
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, what do you think about the ship? This was my question.
Oh, okay. I have no thoughts.
Don't you think it's cool? Or do you think
it is cool.
It's cool, right?
I kind of find it weird that Mary, in a way, made his own portrait on that ship. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's just like, imagine it's you having a Mercedes, but instead of the Mercedes star in front, you have
has my face on it.
It's just your face.
Yeah, why not? I would put my face everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
No, but actually I find it funny too, because they just go with this ship all the time. And, we later see some other ships and really huge ones and really small ones too, but they have a connection to the captain in some sort of way, Probably not the captain itself, but something the ship is made out of. But then the Mary thing is probably right because it's a lamp. Okay, yeah. It doesn't matter what I just told you.
Okay.
Yeah. It has something to do with sheep. Is Mary some kind of sheep thing?
Yeah.
Or just because Mary is a sheep-headed man?
Well, I guess Mary is a sheep-headed man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well. It does make sense in that way.
So, everyone, thank you very much for listening to episode 7. Episode 8 is coming. It's going to be the same recording session for us, but a different week for you. Viv, if the people want to find you on the social networks, why can they do so?
You people can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. And my handle on most of these platforms is leaves_Viv, but except Instagram, there it's leaves.viv. Where can they find you?
You can find me under the handle Siv to the Rescue on every social media platform, be it Twitter, X, Twitch, mostly Twitch and Instagram.
Yeah, now it's called X. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm refusing to call it X.
Yeah, me too.
So everyone, without further ado, thank you very much for listening to this episode. Everyone, have an amazing night, morning, day, evening, wherever you are and whenever you're listening.
Stay cozy, guys, and don't forget to be kind to yourselves. And we'll hear each other on the next episode of One and a Half Piece.